Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Oh, I hear you nice and clear. How do I sound to
well,
you?
you sound good to me.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so sweet. How about the chat? Do I sound good to you? Hmm? Can you tell me? Actually, I'm asking you for a volume chat. You don't have to get all personal about it. Wrong show, right? But hey,
But we
as you
do
can,
like to
yeah.
know that we sound good.
We do, because they should get used to it. Bear's been getting a lot of sleep, man. This is a bear nobody really is used to.
And see, I'm not getting that much sleep right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh,
That's
thank you,
okay.
Sandy. Thank you, Jared. You're making me feel good, girl. Thanks. But yeah, I've got my well rested voice on. I heard that you two better be careful. Say You want me to
Um,
say
um,
or Which one do you like,
I
Rovsky? I
think
think
it's
you.
the
Yeah. I think like meditating. I can go
No, it's like when you go
I
what's the
think
way
he
you say
means.
that?
I don't know. Everybody likes the way I go. Yeah, I don't
Well, I
know.
kind of like that one too because that one is like
How did this turn into like bear vocalizes
I have
obscenities
no
on
idea.
YouTube? Like, how did that turn into that? A short okay,
Um,
like that was I'm going to take directions. Robsky's cool, so I take directions because he knows a good pierogi when he has one. So
oh, I love a pierogi.
like that. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna just all right. I'm laughing my way through the vocals now. So if anything goes wrong with them, let me know because my mics have been playing around. You know. Mm. Oh, T King. That's Kim, but she sounds like she's back in the distance. Okay, Kim, turn your mic up just a tiny bit. Okay. Thanks,
I
Robsky.
I am up all the way.
Are
Let
you
me
okay? I can
let
turn you
me
up here then. Nope. Now
turn
that
me
you
up here
said
a little
that,
bit.
all right. I'm playing with your buttons.
Ooh.
Don't get okay.
Well, someone's
Uh,
on right now, so
I know. So there you go. Let's see how she sounds now. Can you all let me know if her volume is a little bit
is it
better or if she's a
better?
little clearer? I don't want to over talk her because she's got a lot to say today, and I don't want to be louder than she is. Oh, that's okay, T King. It's been
Yes.
and welcome, love. No problem. Kim don't mind. Like we just
No, I
correct
don't
and carry
mind.
on. Yeah, it's no biggie. We're not like that here. You can't
No.
find a judgment between the two of us. You'd have to circle around and go to another town because you ain't gonna
Exactly.
find one. We don't. Yes, Robsky. Robsky. Okay, so on that, we're supposed to be here talking about Black Mirror because that is,
Yes,
Kim and I
we
are
are.
both, it's not just Black Mirror. We are Charlie Brooker obsessed. I think the man is a genius in his writing. I think the concept of Black Mirror hit it out of the park years ago, and there hasn't been anything to replace it since. So I'm fixated because that's how I am. Until you prove me better, I'm staying here with Black Mirror.
I am
What?
too. I am totally
Yeah.
fixated.
Mhm.
And Sandy, I see that. I will try to just speak up louder. I do
Okay.
have kind
Oh,
of a
I could pull.
softer
Oh, wait,
voice.
wait. I could pull you up louder if you need to go louder. I could pull you just a little bit
Well,
more. I got a
Sandy
little
said
bit
that I
more to
was a little
go.
faint.
Okay. All right. I'm taking your cancellation off, and I'm putting you up. Talk to them, Goose.
Talk to them, Goose.
You know that
Okay.
thing? It says "Talk to me, Goose." You know what
Yes,
movie that's
I
from, right? Okay.
I do. And it's a movie I can't watch. So,
Okay, and it's
okay,
also another one. You're killing me, Smalls.
you're
Just
killing me,
speak to them.
Smalls. I know. I love that. So, I will kind of get us started. So, this episode was the second episode of the first season, but it was actually written before any other episodes, and it was written by Charlie Brooker and his lovely wife, Konnie
Mhm.
Huq.
Uh huh.
Although I believe her name is actually spelled Kanak, Kanak, and she's
Yeah, and I think
absolutely
we say
beautiful.
I think we say knack or
Kanak,
knack
she's
knack
absolutely beautiful.
knack. Yeah.
Yeah. So, That was about that. And she got the idea from watching him sitting, watching like the TV or a computer or I believe it was maybe an iPad, and having Twitter going on his phone. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, "You won't be happy until every wall is covered in a video screen."
You know
And
what?
that's how they got the idea for this.
Yeah, and I could see that. I could see that because they do use that wall of video in a few things, and
They do.
I use that wall of video concept for a lot of things too. Like it's something I think of often,
Right?
actually. Mhm.
Okay, so my
Mhm.
volume's better now. So,
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm better. I've done what everybody said. We're working with everyone, so
mhm.
I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all
Very
very
much.
much.
Yeah, it's like. So, what on that? I guess 15 million merits. The first one that he wrote. Okay, so first of all, we're going to disappoint you. There's no Easter eggs because he didn't get to that point yet.
No.
Like he wasn't playing. There was nothing to refer it to. But as far as layered concepts on society and what we do with social media, oh hell is it full.
Oh,
Like
it is so full.
he came out of the box swinging. And I
He
love a
did.
man like that. Like, if you're going to make an effort, come out swinging, dude. Come out with
Right?
your best shot.
Let
And
me
this-
know it right away.
Exactly. And Brooker did it. As far the writing, the freaking directing, the cinematography, the
Oh.
subtle nuances that are
Yes.
there. Listen, there are things in here, and we'll get to them point by point, that the subtlety of it stabbed me in the eyes,
I
like
know.
with the visuals, like the cinematography, just the subtleness. They just made their point, and I am, I'm a big fan of that when it comes to cinematography, videography. If you can tell me without words, with a couple of notes from the music or the visual,
Yeah.
damn, I am yours for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm serious.
Well,
I'm
it's like they
such a
say-
fan of that kind of creative genius
Yeah.
because that takes such brilliance that I can't even comprehend it. And of course, I don't have it, so of course I admire it in others. You know.
It's one of those things, as long as we have our sight,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first way we experience all of our other senses. Everything
I-
goes through our eyes first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I believe that. I do believe that it's a visual. For me, communication is everything. So I don't think that way. Like I'm more a whirly bird, so to speak. So I actually have a great affinity to be attracted to these types of and the art in general,
Uh-huh.
and just be the hugest fan. Like you can always get me with that kind of stuff.
I know.
But we don't want to talk too much about my Brooker obsession because he might, I heard he's active again. And he's
He
writing again
is.
and creating a new series, and I don't
We
want to
have-
scare him away. Like,
I know.
don't.
We don't. We
Right.
still adore him.
Yeah,
Even
so
with
I
that
don't want to
one
make it
episode.
difficult for him to come out in public or anything. I don't
No.
want to worry the man.
No.
But no, that I would just man, just to can you imagine? Well, I don't even want to go there. That's another. We'll have a fantasy stream one day.
We
talk about
will.
this, though.
We
But-
definitely will.
But back to the actual episode. It is kind of dystopian, right? It kind of gives you the feeling.
It is.
It gives you the feeling without telling you that something catastrophic has happened and the world isn't the way it used to be.
Yes.
And that they now need to have this system in place to keep everything running, but everybody's kind of separate and nobody can be like together.
Right.
And for me, watching it again post-pandemic, and actually the first time I watched it, I did this one maybe 7 months ago.
Right.
And when I watched it during the pandemic, boy, did it make me feel. And I got a little, in the feels about
and
it.
I think that's why I had such a different viewing of it this time than I did when you did it previously.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because like then we were like in the pandemic, right? We were all in separate cells. We were all doing like they do on this episode, you know. So basically, it is like, you know, it's kind of dystopian. It's like something has happened. They don't let us know, which is one of the complaints I had, is that it left it too wide open. It's a complaint and not a complaint, because I do like when Charlie pricks my brain. Like he likes to like flick. Like, you know, when you take your two fingers together and you knock somebody like that, you know, like that little flick.
To do that to us.
Yeah, he does that to me right on the temple, like all the time. He doesn't know it though, but
I feel it though.
He just gets me going. What? Like, why? Like,
exactly.
I know, and like I'm thinking, I know you did this on purpose, and what is it adding to the story? And I think I figured it out. What it adds to the story is it doesn't let you put it in a box. It doesn't let you figure it out completely. It lets you feel it and go with it without knowing where you're supposed to be. And that, people, that is true artistry. That's
true
the
art.
Beauty. That is what keeps these episodes fresh. This is really old. This is this is ancient.
This was in 2011.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And yet we are 11 years later able to watch it and get a good and just enjoy it and get a good feeling and see what he's talking about, and better than that, relate to it now personally and society wise, technology wise, online social media wise, you know, or everywhere. I don't know, I'm probably over speaking for you, Kim, here, but
I honestly feel like that is one thing that Charlie Brooker is such a brilliant artist at. He does not put things in a pretty little box and tie them up with a pretty little bow. He leaves that stuff scattered all out for us.
Exactly.
And I do love that. And I agree with you. I think even 11 years later, this has even more relevance to our lives than it possibly did in 2011. Because of what we have gone through with the pandemic and other things that have gone on socially and worldwide.
All right, I do. So on that, I'm going to just give you the synopsis that's out there about this episode, just to give those that haven't actually seen it, and then those of you that may not remember all of the, like, you don't have to remember the small details, but just so that you get the broad idea of it before we go into any great details about how we feel about certain things that happened. Okay, so basically this is set in a world where most of society must cycle on exercise bikes in order to earn currency called merits. And the episode tells the story of Bing, the lead character, who is played by Daniel Kaluuya really well. I'm glad I met that actor because he did a great job. Who meets Abby, Jessica Brown Findlay, who convinces her to participate in a talent show so she can become famous. The episode was inspired by Huq's idea that her technology-obsessed husband Brooker would be happy in a room covered with screens, as Kim had told us before. It additionally drew motivation from the narrative of talent shows leading to fame. Does anybody remember Simon and his Do You Got Talent show with that whole thing, you know, about how those judges were? It's directly from there. They actually almost designed a set around it. It was amazing.
It was designed a lot after X Factor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Simon's show.
Yeah.
15 Million Merits incorporates elements of dystopian fiction, science fiction, and drama, and offers commentary on capitalism. The episode received positive critical reception because the relationship of Abby and Bing drew comparison to that of Julia and Winston in 1984. Anybody remember that book? Okay. Yes, getting my literary feels in here. Okay, so, like, you know, and if you have not, it is on the top 100 of must reads 1984. Please do it.
Yes, it is.
Please do
Everyone
it.
Should
it's
read
worth
that book.
it. Everyone should read that book. Okay. Whilst Abby's objectification was compared to that of female media figures held to the Point made. All right. The episode's ambiguous ending led to discussion about the commodification of dissent. I saw that too. Rebel. Here we go. All right. The visual style and music of the episode were praised, as was the romance between Abby and Bing, because it had everything. It had, hi, we're friends. Ooh, I like you. Hey, this ain't gonna work. We're so different. Damn, what an ending. Not gonna tell you what it is yet. But anyway, the acting received a mixed reception, as did the word building. But the depressing humor, and I mean, this is dark snark.
It's
Get
very
ready,
dark.
people. All right. The depressing humor and bleak tone of the episode garnered, positive reviews, because that's why they were here. They heard the title Black Mirror. They heard it was going to be dark and different, and that's what they wanted. And he delivered. He definitely delivered. Okay. I was very happy that this was nominated for a British Academy Television Craft Award, but it didn't win. It got nominated though, which was great, Charlie. First episode out of the box. Be proud, dude. They just didn't know.
BAFTA.
They didn't know. It's not your fault. They just didn't know. You got nominated for the BAFTA. We do, though. We do, Charlie. We do. Yeah, we do. All right. So anyway, that's the short of the episode. Okay.
Yes.
So, these episodes, I just want to remind everybody that Netflix is still carrying all these episodes out there, all of the seasons. And I think that now that he has announced that he'll be doing a 6th, they're going to stay. Hopefully they will, because they're brilliant. I have a playlist on it. There's a Reddit that I list in there. For everybody that you can go and talk about it. There's even a Discord for Black Mirror still. And I believe that if you get in now, you'll be in there when it takes off again, which will be as soon as Series 6 starts playing, which I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I know. That was like the best.
They are now in production.
Oh my God, that means only a year away.
Yeah. I actually heard that on the 22nd.
That could be even sooner, because Netflix has a habit of releasing as they go.
They do. And
Charlie
this is
big.
Can turn some stuff out fast. In fact, there was one episode, I forget which one it was, he wrote in less than 24 hours. And it went to production the next day.
Cool. You know what? If he's in production, we know all the episodes are written. Because that's how Charlie works. We know all of Series 6 is written and planned already if they're in production, because that man is got his fingers on every part of it. So, he, even though he admits he's not an expert in all of it, he does stay involved. He picks the best of this and the best of that. But he lets them have creative license as long as they're communicating together. He's genius with it.
Yeah.
People do wonderful things with him. So I can't wait. Oh my God, I don't want to get off track. Don't get me so excited. Oh my God.
I've heard that there will be at least 5 episodes in this new season.
Hey, that's good, because the first one he put out, he only gave us 3 and he left us wanting.
Well, and this last one, he gave us 3? Yeah.
So this is actually the first one that he wrote, but don't be fooled. This is not the first one that aired. Okay, no. That was the pig.
The pig.
That was the politician and the pig.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though they tried to hide it later by making it not the first one that they aired. I was there. I saw it. It was the first one they aired. It was the first one that came out, and I saw it. Yes, and I saw it when it came out, right then and there, and my mouth was open, and I was like, I think I'm going to follow this series. I can't, that's the wildest stuff I've ever seen.
I know. I was like, I cannot look away now. I can't.
I can't
unsee it, and I can't look away.
I know. It's like, why, Charlie, why? But damn, you got me.
That was when he got into my head.
Definitely. Yes. But anyway, let's get back to 15 million. Okay, so now we set it. They're riding bicycles, okay? And let me just explain before Kim takes... I know she's got so much to say here. When we first meet everybody, they're all sitting their butts on stationary bikes, at the gym, and they got huge screens in front of them. Okay, and that's it. And then they've got people behind them picking up stuff on the floor, with one of those hoop things, but they're all just lined up, just rows of them. on one
Yeah.
side, and then an alley, and then on the other side. So there's left and right, and it's like a long hallway, and there's no outside view. There's nothing. It's all like
Nothing.
encapsulated. So from there, I'm going to turn it over to you for a little bit, because I heard you needed some time.
Yeah, I already messaged Claire and I was like, please don't let me rant incessantly. Hit your
Oh,
shut
please
up
do.
Kim button.
Please do. They need a break from me, because I'm well rested, and just I could go on and on. Like bear, like the Energizer Bunny is a scary thing, because I'm already all that. Can you imagine all that times 10? Oh,
Well,
ouch.
part of the thing with the bikes is we never really are told what they're powering. And I have a feeling that all of this, when they're in the bikes and in their little food court thing, I have a feeling all of that's underground. I don't know why I
Yeah.
feel that way. I just do. I just feel like they're all underground. I mean, we see them in an elevator when they're getting ready to go to the bikes, but I just think it's underground.
Mm-hmm.
And we're told that they're powering something, that they're all doing something for the greater good, but they're never even told what they're powering.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if they're just like on a hamster wheel going nowhere, or if they actually are benefiting society. And a lot of that then, and okay, sorry. While they're cycling, they're actually earning merits. Now, Bing had 15 million merits because his brother passed away and willed him 12 million merits. So he had 15 million merits.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bing hears Abby singing in the bathroom, which this is like a co-ed bathroom. Everyone's in there together. And she comes out of the stall and she sees Bing just looking at her. And he's talking about, how nice she sounds and everything. And you can see kind of the attraction that Bing has for her. And Abby is a very, very beautiful girl. She's very beautiful. And she leaves. He keeps talking to her, finds her on their breaks, and they keep talking, and he convinces her to go on to this talent show.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you make it through the talent show, that's apparently how you get off of the bikes.
Right.
Now, we
Now, there's a question.
Uh-huh.
Someone wants to know, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I want you to
No,
stay on track.
that's
But
fine.
the question relates to what you said before. Do you suppose, this is from Sandy, do you suppose those bikes are used to generate electricity? Because that was her assumption. I kind of felt that way too.
Yeah.
And that they're being paid because they're contributing to keeping society going in some way.
Right.
We need people power because machinery wasn't working on its own. It's almost
Exactly.
like, hamster on a wheel.
Yeah.
Like they're all doing their time.
It is.
Like in this system, you got to contribute so many years or whatever to doing this to be able to live out there or something like that. And that it is power based, like electricity or something, I thought. Some kind
Yeah.
of, thing.
some kind
I
of a
think she's
power.
on to something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it powers some kind of a power cell for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy, I'm not sure if they are forced to watch what someone else wants.
Right. I was going to
But
put that one up.
everything they do watch, they do have to pay for.
They
Even
have
the
to pay for
swipe-
it. So the
Yeah.
cheaper content is what they want you to watch. The
Right.
ads, you have to notice that they always push ads through everything
Oh,
before
they're
you
pushing
can do.
those ads heavy.
Before you even have the choice to pick what you want, you are required to
You're
watch
forced
these
to watch an
ads.
ad.
Yeah, right. I did pick up on that part.
Uh-huh.
And Robsky picked up on the collars, which were the cyclists are all white, like workers, like white collar worker. The
Right.
sweepers, the people who were picking up all the stuff, were blue collar
blue
workers.
collar.
And then you had the elites, the
You
people
did.
with
You
the
had-
clipboards.
It's a
Yeah.
real caste system.
It
is
was a
true
total caste system. Yeah,
It is.
right.
And if you'll notice also, all of the cyclists were very fit.
Oh, this is good that Aaron's bringing that up too. And welcome, Aaron. I didn't see you sneak in chat, but you came in came in gangbusters with a great comment. By
Yes.
staying in shape, they reduce the cost to the system for medical expenses, etc. It also converts excess calories back into energy for other purposes.
Right.
And they are very sedate when they're not cycling. All they do
They are.
is go to their cubicle, eat,
Mhm.
drink, and actually cycle and sleep.
That's all they do.
And their socialization is all involved with work and eating and drinking. It's all very controlled, the socialization that happens. It's very bizarre. Like, I don't want to live there. It's too similar to what's going on now, actually.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too. That's the way I feel. And the sweepers, who were the blue collar, they were either sweepers or they were put on game shows that were meant to humiliate them because
Exactly.
and I'm not body shaming.
Yeah.
I'm a big girl too.
I know, but
They
they used only unattractive
They
or heavy
did.
people and
Yes.
somebody that they felt lower than them. And they were
Yes.
promoting, and it goes along the whole theme, and we can get into that part later when you get a little deeper into it. But there is a very, very judgmental sexist connotation and a very oppressed
Yes.
things going on here that were not really cool in my eyes.
I know.
Robsky says, I don't know about that, and I think he's talking about the electricity. If power was at a premium, there wouldn't be so many TV screens everywhere. Exactly.
Right.
Unless they're like filtering it right off of the bike that you're working,
Exactly.
like a percentage of it, and doing a contribution thing. So
Yeah.
that did confuse me too, because it
I
was
know,
kind of
I've
like
had issues with that
kind of like an
also.
oxymoron. Like, if you're
Yeah.
supposed to be producing power, why are you using so much to entertain yourself?
Right.
Like,
Because
yeah.
you know, that's the thing. Like, even when we look in Bing's cubicle, when he's waking up, one whole wall is like this farm scene with this rooster crowing. So, again, if power is at a premium, have a little monitor that has an alarm on it. That's
Right.
all he would need. He
Right.
wouldn't need all of that.
But there was like so much there about what they forced upon you, and it was all based on
It
that
was.
show and what they wanted to promote and what they wanted out there. It was some
And, you know, we can even think about that with, like, YouTube.
you know
Just
what?
because I watch a certain creator or certain videos and things, then I get all this other stuff coming up in my recommendeds.
Yeah, I just, it's true. And that happens on your phone. Okay, if
It
you go
does.
and if you have an iPhone and you go and use your search at all, okay, you are bombarded then
I'm
with
gonna get
with
ads
all this
like
stuff.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to get ads everywhere. You're going to even on your email, everywhere. Everything. It's like the cookie thing, has finally taken over. I used
Yeah.
to like cookies.
I know.
I don't anymore.
The cookies have kind of ruined them for me now.
They have. Unless I make it myself, I don't want anything to do with
I
it
know.
anymore.
I want the
know.
homemade now.
Yeah, I know. Let's see.
Um,
But all right. So
so-
back where you were. We were on the
so-
bike.
Yes, we're on the bikes, and every time they're cycling, they're earning these merits. Now, if they swipe against an ad, it costs them to brush their teeth. It costs them to brush teeth. It costs them to wash their hands because they're having to pay for toothpaste or soap.
That's
So-
ridiculous. You know what?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is capitalism
This
gone
is
wrong.
1984. This
This
is
is
1984.
You can't
Yes.
brush your teeth. This is something they
know.
would want you to do. Like, who wants to talk to people that don't brush their teeth?
They
Like,
got stinky breath.
I know. Like, it's like, and they want you to bathe. Who wants to be around somebody not bathing? Like,
I
oh my
know.
God.
I know. So Bing convinces Abby that her voice is so beautiful that she should go on to, what was it, Hot Shots or something?
It's one of
Yeah.
those hot shots or
Hot
something.
Shots.
It's one of those,
It's like an X Factor type
right.
reality
It's
competition show.
It's a talent show, and they pick the best, and you can have any talent, singing, dancing,
Yes.
anything. It's based off of X Factor. You're right with Simon. As a matter of fact, the
is.
actual characters there. The actors do very well at portraying the
do.
people that they were. There's a
They
sexist
do.
pig, an opinionated industry mogul, and then
Yes.
a female who plays both sides of the road. Period. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I won't name names. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And, Abby is like, I'm new here. I just turned 21. I just got here. It'll take me forever to earn 15 million merits. Bing's like, no, because I was willed 12 million. I will give you 15 million merits. And even the way they have to go about that, transferring merit funds to another person, is so impersonal because it's all done like digitally through their avatars. There's just nothing personal in this show at all. Everything is just, everything's for your avatar. Anything you can buy other than the food you actually consume is either a TV show or something for your damn avatar.
But it's true.
It's not for yourself.
And even the food that you can buy, it's all controlled. It's all vending machines. And,
yes.
It's all just whatever they put in there. It's not like,
Did you notice on the vending machines, I think it was the first time, and he had trouble getting out, and the other girl came and said, oh, let me show you. This one has there was a little bar up there, and it said, like, recommended people who like apples also like bananas.
Which is so
just
weird.
like it gives us a recommends on YouTube and on our phones.
I know. It's like, wow. It's like,
I was like, Charlie, really?
Yeah, no, but these are the little things I'm talking about. These are the little, when you get a visual like that, you read that, right? It was a little visual. They didn't point to it. They didn't talk about it. It's not in anything. Nobody ever mentions it in the description. But it hit home, didn't it? You now have the scene, that remark, and you know what he's trying to say immediately. And that's what I mean about those little tiny visuals that just get you right, stab you right in the eye.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was one of those things that I saw today. And I was like, oh, Charlie, how did I miss this? The other 15 million times I've watched this episode. Okay, not 15 million, but Claire knows me. Claire, I have not broken my record yet.
She didn't watch it 15 million times, but is she getting close? I would have to say she's closer than she was yesterday. I know she even watched it. I know she probably watched it today. I know she did
watch it this morning.
She probably made someone watch it yesterday with her.
I watched it twice yesterday.
I knew it. Okay.
I actually watched it. So I watched it early in the morning, and then I watched it again late at night.
What I got to give you credit for that, because what you do is you write your opinion out, and then you go back and make sure that everything you saw is actually substantiated by what you saw, and then you craft it to like, well, wait a minute, that's not exactly that, so I got to do. You're very careful when you're putting your opinion out here on YouTube, and I give you a lot of credit for it.
Thank you.
So I love working with you.
It was today where it just kind of like hit me in the face, and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it's like right in the eye, stab you in the eye.
Yes, I was like, why didn't I know this 3 years ago when I first saw it?
I'm telling you, I'm very graphic about my language, the way I talk about this stuff, because that's exactly how it hits me. It really hit me like right in the eye, like that. Like I'm like,
it did. I was just, So Abby does go on Hot Shots, and Bing actually goes with her. She wants his support. And so he's with her, and they pull her aside. They're like, we want to preview you. She says, yes, I want to be as popular as such and such a singer. And they're like, okay, you're in. You're going to be on the show. Here, drink this. And they hand her this little thing that looks like a
drug. A drug drink. Let's just be honest.
It's called compliance.
And it's called compliance for a reason. So you don't go against anything they say.
Yes.
But can I say something about the when they're in the waiting room to go in, right? It also made a statement about beauty, thin, and about picking out people special. There were people there that had been there for weeks waiting, weeks and weeks and weeks, and they could not get in because they didn't fit the type. They would walk through the elites with their little clipboards. They would tap somebody on the shoulder and bring them in, and it was direct relation from the three in there, or at least one of them, who decided what was going on for the day and would pick them
totally
based on
was.
their what they looked like, their face, their whatever. Oh, I'd like to get to talk to that one. I'd like this, personal preference only, and actually just went right up whatever rules they had set out that they told everybody they were going to follow, whatever procedures they said they were going to do. It was not. It was like jump ahead of the line just because I see it so.
Yep.
In favoritism. And
Yeah.
that was striking too, because like you say about them being the elites with the clipboard, and by not following the rules, it
Yeah.
really was a caste system, and it was a no-win system no matter what you
Exactly.
did. If somebody didn't tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're it, I like you, forget it, you were out. You had
You were
nowhere to
out.
go. There was nothing to be done.
Yeah.
It was quite the statement on it. That one blonde girl, I mean, she was
She'd
annoying.
been there for months.
She'd been annoying AF, let me
Yes.
just tell you. If I was in charge, she would
I'd
be
been
too.
like,
but
girl.
still, they're like, girl, like
Go
just
back to your
leave.
cubicle.
Yeah, right. Like nobody wants to hear you, babe.
Right.
But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. She was a
But
little
I just wanted to
extra,
say that
sure.
about that part of the process,
It was.
because
It was
that
very
really
biased.
that as an American, that stuck out to me. That Charlie made that point, because that stuck out to me as far as the capitalist system, how we work
Exactly.
at it, and he did it without even expressing money. Okay, he
Right.
did that in a societal
Yes.
concept, and
He
yet it
did.
meant the same thing to me. And I'm like, yep, I'm an American, because that's what that meant
Uh-huh.
to me. Like that proves, the right there, because that's how
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
it. And I'm not bashing, anything. So, don't come
No.
for me, YouTube. But if you do, bring it, because I've been
Bring
sleeping.
it, because we're ready.
Because I've been sleeping. You're not ready. But anyway,
And I'm not,
Um,
and I'm a little cranky, so it's okay.
it's okay. It's okay. I could do it for both of us, Kim.
Okay. Well, I don't know. They haven't seen Cranky Me yet.
Well, yeah, I don't want to see cranky you. So carry on. Let's talk something happy, like this.
So Abby sings, and she sings this beautiful song
Hmm.
written by the wonderful Irma Thomas, the
Which
queen of jazz
Queen
in New Orleans.
Yes, she is. It's a wonderful song.
It is.
It's
It's
about
beautiful.
love, and it's
Yes. And it's a timeless song.
so timeless that Brooker has used it repeatedly throughout Black Mirror.
Repeatedly. We
And we have
are
brought
going
it up.
to be talking about this song coming up in other episodes.
Oh, we have already. You could
Yeah,
probably
we
count
have.
3 other times that we have actually said that it appeared. It was Easter eggs, not here. Here, we're doing a pre-egg. Are we?
A
Okay,
pre-egg.
we are pre-egging. That's a bear term. I'm coining it. If you use it, there's my coffee, my cup of coffee link is in the description. If you use that, you better just drop me a cup of coffee, dude. And
Hey, now we can go back and talk about my word that you
Yep.
claimed was now yours.
I already sent you coffee. Just stop. I
Okay,
did. Which
so-
word was that? Because I have taken a few. I admit it. I'm a word hog.
Doppelganger.
It's not your word. That's a word.
I know
That
it's
is
a word.
word. All right. That's not taking it. But I think pre-egg.
It's really not.
Pre-egg,
Pre-egg.
is a new concept as
That
far as
is.
I'm concerned, until I'm proved otherwise.
That
I'm
is
claiming
pre-egg.
it as a new concept, and that I need
I
to
like
be paid
that.
in coffee
Yeah.
if they use it. But
Yeah.
doppelganger, it was just
I
how
know
I
it's just
used
a word.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used
You
it
just
when I
used
was
it in my
mad at
context.
I used it when I was mad at people for not owning who they are.
I know.
And I was
You
telling them to get the hell in the bathroom and stare at that doppelganger in the
You
mirror.
used it in the same context I did.
Yes, I did. And I liked the way it sounded, so I used it repeatedly in a few streams because I was
That's
a little
okay.
hot under the collar.
I'll share with you, Claire. You
Well,
know
that's
that.
good. Yeah, I made it
Yeah.
popular for you, Kim. You can own it. Yeah,
I
there you go.
know. So, Abby, she sings that beautiful song, and the judges are like, the Simon Cowell judge is like, that's one of the best performances I've seen, and
Mhm.
she's, feeling good. She's like, all right, I'm in. I'm going to get off the bike.
Yeah, but wait.
Only to
What about what
realize-
he asked her to do before? Like, oh my.
Oh,
Go on, keep going.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. the a-hole judge. The a-hole
The
judge.
sexist, let's just call it like it is.
Yes.
A-hole? How about sexist pig? How about
Sexist.
objectifying
Yes.
asshole? That is the appropriate term for the
Exactly.
objectifying asshole. All right.
He asked her before she even started, when they were just talking to her, to take off her top.
Yep, because they would much more likely to listen to her sing if they could see her breasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're saying that I'm breaking up.
Okay. Let me
Is this
just
better?
see if.
I moved around a little bit. I had something pop up on this.
That I had
Actually,
to
that's
get rid
where.
of, and that could have
Okay.
been it.
All right. Hopefully, that's okay.
Okay, thanks,
All
Andy.
right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they asked her to take off the top. And the guy
Mhm.
kept saying, I want to see your titties. And I'm like, seriously? She is a beautiful young girl.
Mm-hmm.
Leave her alone. I mean, I just wanted to
Yeah,
get
I
to
was
the
a little.
screen after him.
Yeah,
I
you don't
really
want to.
did.
Yeah, you don't want to read my notes on that scene.
Oh, I can imagine, because they're probably very much like mine.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it was a sexualization and an objectification. And Claire and I have had this discussion before, and she knows how I feel. And you just, no, it's wrong
Mm-hmm.
on every level, every sense. It is
Mhm.
wrong.
It is.
And-
Let me just make one note on that, just one, because I'm not that overzealous extremist woman's liver. I'm not.
Right.
I am actually quite reasonable on this issue. I understand what sells. I understand about public relations. I understand about lowering, getting into the market. I understand that beauty does sell over ugly. I understand all of that. What I
Right.
don't understand is the need for objectification about it. You do not
Exactly.
need to demoralize,
No.
humiliate, or intimidate somebody to get there. She was a beautiful girl anyway. You don't need to see the rest of it to
No.
figure that out. There's a way to do it, and that's what I'm for. You do not
That's-
need any person, not a woman or a man. If they did it to a man, I'd say the same thing,
I would say
regardless
the
of what
same
I
thing.
say. Regardless of what I say on other shows about people's body parts. Okay. Regardless of that, what I'm saying is there's a way to do it. And this, like that part, the way that was done, in that light, also with the power struggle of consent between a person in authority and somebody who needs something from them, that's wrong. Using
Yeah.
that power against somebody to intimidate them into a humiliating and embarrassing, that's my issue.
Yeah, that's where I had the issue too.
Right.
Because
Right, so
he was
I just
a
wanted to-
person in
yeah.
power.
Exactly. I just wanted to clear that up. That's where I am. I am a reasonable woman. I am not one of those pot banging liberalists who's
No,
gonna
I'm
like
not
go
either,
for
but-
you when you use the wrong pronoun or you say I look pretty.
Yeah.
Damn well, if I look pretty, tell me I look pretty.
Tell me.
I am not gonna judge you for it.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not
And if you
either.
want to open the door, open the door. I'm not gonna judge you for that either.
Exactly.
And it's all about compromise and communication. I am a reasonable person about this. Okay. I just thought that was strikingly objectifying.
It was.
Strikingly
It was
unnecessary.
in your face. And
and
that's
proof
something
that
I just-
judge was a sexist pig and
he
an
was, and
objectifying
that's just
asshole.
something I just cannot. I cannot handle that.
Mhm.
That is, if you want to see me really mad and angry,
Mhm.
that is one way to do it, because
Mhm.
it is something that I have fought against for so long.
Yep.
And
And-
so I totally agree with Claire
Mhm.
on this. I
Mhm. Yep.
100.
Yep. Mhm. There's a
Yeah.
reason I'm an avatar. That ain't happening to me.
I know.
Mhm.
No. That's why you'll never see my face out here. Because
But
it doesn't need to be seen.
yeah, Robsy wants to know if they had an airline. If they did, they weren't serving wings,
They-
and it wasn't right.
They were not serving wings.
There you go.
Right.
But anyway, but bring it back to the lighter part. Just
Yeah.
this comment from Aaron, because I want to take it down after I read it. That he said that it was a heavy commentary on YouTube and Facebook because they scientifically trigger an addiction, but try to say you had the freedom to walk away. Exactly. When
Yeah,
they're
do.
doing this with the cycling, okay, and putting all this visual in front of you, and then getting you to go for fame, and then drugging you to do whatever they want about
Yeah.
it, so that how you go about getting your fame is exactly how they want to present it. I'm kind of with you on all of it there. There were so many ways that they fed into that train of thought, Aaron. Like
Right.
it got proved over and over again.
It
Yeah.
did. It really did. So Abby sings her song. She does beautiful. The one judge says, best performance he's ever heard, but they have too many singers.
Mm-hmm.
So then the sexist judge, who's already objectified this poor girl,
Mm-hmm.
says, you should be a part of my show, Wraith Babes.
Oh, and that's the ad that they force people to watch. That's
Yes.
over-sexualized,
Over-sexualized.
over-stimulating, and you have to watch
Yes.
it, or you have to pay to get
Or
it off
you
your
have to
screen.
pay a lot of money
Mhm.
to get it off
It's-
your screen.
And it's objectifying, degrading.
Yes.
It is meant to entice it purposely.
It is.
Things that you may have to pay for.
Uh-huh.
They actually use it against them.
Yeah.
Like I said, like a capitalistic system.
And the minute they mention that, Bing starts yelling out to Abby, don't do it, don't do it. And they haul him off. So she doesn't even have her support. And all of the audience is yelling, do it, do it, do it, do it. And they're asking for her answer. And the Simon Cowell type judge says, it's either that or the bikes.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back to the bikes. Because that's your only option. And because she has the compliance center, she says yes.
And
that she will
the
go on
guy
race
paid her
days.
$15 million to be there. What's she gonna do? Go back to the bikes? Like this is her
Exactly.
shot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that to me was one of the saddest, one of the saddest moments in this whole episode, honestly. And it was just filled with hopelessness
Mm-hmm.
to me. It really was. I had problems getting past it, really. I did.
I know. And I can understand that, because for everybody that's had any experience like that, man or woman, to be put in a position of that where you have been objectified, humiliated, you've already done things that you aren't comfortable with to get where you are, and then to have them do that to you where you don't even really have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's someone from power and you've obviously been drugged and you think you have no other option.
Mm.
And
And
it's a horrible feeling.
Right. And but it also goes to, like, when you get into these positions, even here on YouTube, I find myself, I always said I didn't want to have to be in a position to play the game. But
Right.
yet, if you're out here, you do. You have to. Like, there's no
You
qualms
do.
about it. So I own it. Well, like, when they call me, like, they use really nasty terms, too, like cloud chasing and this and that, because you're friendly in chats or you like to talk. Like, it's really bullshit. It's just who I am. But I'm going to own it too. Like, I go, yeah, right, I'm a YouTuber. I am going to be all over the place with other people that do collab and that do chat with people. And I'm going to be out there and I'm going to be socializing because I like it, for number one. I have a channel, number two. I want to be successful. And you need these collaborations and people to do that. Like, what idiot
do.
thinks otherwise? And how dare you put other kinds of names on it just to make yourself feel better that you're a suck at it?
And
like, because I'm not
they're
very
trying-
graceful. I will
trying
admit.
to do the same thing. They're just not as successful.
Exactly. So I will admit to not being very graceful. If somebody comes for the bear slaps back. And it's
Yeah.
not pleasant. I will admit. Sometimes I'm a little rough. But, hey, you came for me. Like, what'd you expect?
Exactly.
Hi? Did you want cake? Did you want me to serve you tea? Maybe you should have approached me a different way.
Exactly.
Like when, instead of calling me some clout chasing YouTube hoe,
gentler method.
Yeah, right. What'd you think you were gonna get when you said that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it just cracks me up. Like I have good humor about it because they're idiots.
One thing that I don't know if some people caught, when right before Abby was about to go on stage and she had finished her compliance, she hands the container to Bing and he holds on to it. And that's very important because it will come into play in just a little bit. Because Bing is now very upset because he has lost Abby. She's gone to Rafe Babes. And he has no merits. He has nothing. So he is working very hard to get as many merits as he can. Because my man Bing has a plan. I mean, he's even like scrimping on his toothpaste. He's barely putting a little dot of toothpaste on his toothbrush now. He's not eating. Did you see him go and pick through people's leftovers? Mm-hmm. That's like what he was eating now.
Yep. Because he's trying to, because he didn't have the money, and then he didn't want to see, the ads that were featuring this person he cares very much about and very
the first time that he saw it, and he tried to swipe it, and it told him he did not have enough merits. Mm-hmm. He went ballistic. Mm-hmm. Like, that was
they forced him to watch it. Like, he's forced to watch it.
Because even if you close your eyes, it tells you.
It registers. Now, how messed up is that? You're not even allowed to close your eyes to the TV. It takes money from you because you're not watching it like you're supposed to. The TV starts yelling at you, whatever that voice was. It was like Siri going bad. It was like Alexa. It was like Alexa, the dark Alexa. The dark Alexa. Yeah, going, no, we're going to take 100 merits from you if you close your eyes. Yeah. Please open your eyes. Watch the following program. Oh my God, it was like so annoying.
And it gave that really high-pitched tone that kept going into a
the
higher...
alarm? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. So the first time he saw it, you could tell that she was just drugged out of her mind. She had no free will. And he knew that also. He knew that she had no free will. And he got so enraged, he broke one of the monitors. And he was able to pick up a rather large shard of glass from that monitor. So we see him, and he puts the shard away. But he also had her origami penguin. She was always making these little origami penguins, and the trash people would come and throw them away. And he had one of those. He put it underneath his mattress along with her container of compliance. So he had saved it. So he is now riding his bike furiously to try to earn up enough merits, because he's now decided he's going to go on Hot Shots. He's going to do whatever he can. So he's in his room. He's practicing these horrible dance moves. I mean, they were, Claire, you got to admit, they were bad. They were like Napoleon Dynamite bad. That's how bad they were.
Yeah.
He's furiously biking. He finally gets to 15 million merits. Mm-hmm. And he buys the golden ticket to get into the show. Now, he does this not even knowing if he can get on. And they do, one of the elites gets a message in his headphone. And he sees Bing. He goes and pulls him. He says, they want to preview you. And Bing goes back there, and they're kind of like, what are you, a magician? He's like, I'm a sort of entertainer. And she's like, okay, say that into the camera. He's like, I'm sort of an entertainer. Just very deadpan. I mean, it's like the man had no emotion. But I honestly think he was so filled with emotion through this whole thing with Abby that he had just learned how to either really hide them or dissociate from his emotions. That's just my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets on stage. He tells them that he's just some sort of entertainer. And they're like, well, entertain. So the music starts. He starts dancing. He's getting boos from all of the avatars in the audience. Because, of course, real people are not allowed to actually attend the
Mm-hmm.
show. It's all their avatars.
Right. Right.
And he's getting booed so badly, he knows he's about to get yanked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he reaches into the back of his pants and pulls out that shard of glass and holds it to his neck. And I'm telling you, this man goes on one of the best rants I have
It was
ever
epic.
heard.
It was epic. I wish I
was
could actually
so-
remember it word for word, but
There was
Oh.
part of it, I actually had to slow it down. I slowed the time on it down today
Mhm.
because I wanted to catch more of it. And he talked about how all of this was fake and it was all fodder. And the more fake it was, the better everyone liked it. And that everyone was just there just for the fakeness and all the fodder of it. And they were only there to buy stuff. They were only there as consumers. And they were buying things that weren't even real. Everything they were buying was fake. Because everything they could buy other than food or body essentials was for their avatar. So nothing in their world was real. And like not even a lot of the interactions were real. They even interacted with each other basically through a fake avatar. And that scene alone had me thinking about so many other really good rants that we've seen in movies. You know, Tom Cruise's "You Can't Handle the Truth from a Few Good Men."
right. Mm-hmm. Classic.
Yeah, Charlton Heston, as they're carrying him out in Soylent Green,
Mm.
and he's ranting about going against the system. Don't
Right. Yes.
consume Soylent Green. Soylent Green
Yes,
is
yes, yes.
people.
Right. It's people.
And
It's you.
probably the one that I felt Charlie really, I could hear this almost the same time I was hearing Bing rant, was
Mhm.
the one from Howard Beale,
Mhm.
played by the remarkable Peter Finch in Network.
Oh, that's also a good one. In
Yeah.
Network. And Network was all about the conspiracy and the behind the scenes and the
It was, and it was about
Mm.
capitalism
and capitalism. Yeah.
and society.
And the hopelessness that you
Yes.
can't move it forward. Mm-hmm.
And I felt like Charlie mirrored that energy,
Mm-hmm.
that hostility towards the hierarchy of
Right.
society.
Mm-hmm. Like, how dare they make these decisions for us? This isn't the way we want it. Like, they weren't, like, how dare they put us here? Like, here. Like, there has to be a better way, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And I felt like a lot of what Charlie was really trying to tell us was that we are we're so embroiled in everything that we take into our lives. You know, I will admit there are days that I get off work and I am so mentally and emotionally exhausted from what I've done all day long
Mm-hmm.
that all I want is a little fluff TV.
Yeah.
I want something that I don't have to think
Mhm.
about. But
Oh,
for the
don't-
most part,
Don't
I
watch
want
Brooker.
to feel. I know. For the most part, though, and I will admit those are rare. I usually only have like maybe one or
Mhm.
two of those days every couple of weeks where
Mm-hmm.
I just have to honestly just veg out. I know I
No.
can't pick up a book that night. I know I can't watch something that's going to make me think.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to watch something that I
Oh,
don't have, that I just need entertained.
I'm going through a rough period of that right now, longer than usual. Directly related to the schedule based on
Uh-huh.
covering the depth trial. You know, you
Oh,
put in
yeah.
all that time. I get off of the stream. You know, I'm pretty active during the stream. I try to stay engaged. I try to stay with people. I try to take my notes during everything. You know, and
Right.
then I get off, and I'll admit, you know, the people that deal with me, my brain is pudding, and you all know it. Like, I'm shot. I haven't. I'm an avid reader. I read every day. Or I was, but for 6 weeks now, I haven't been able to read for enjoyment. Just barely enough to do my research for my streams and the work that I'm doing out here.
Right.
And I could barely read a pizza menu. Like, I literally called the pizza place and told them just whatever I ordered last week.
I know.
And he said, "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "They just said whatever I ordered last week. It'll do." Like, I can't even think about it. I couldn't even make
Yeah.
a decision about pizza. So I get you. You need downtime to recharge, to, you know, focus, to, you know, just not have to do even the stuff you do for enjoyment. That takes that kind of energy just to like turn everything off, you know.
Oh, yeah. And I've recently had some days like that myself, and a lot of it is because I've been following the trial. Even though I'm working, I've got it kind of going as a background noise for me. And
Mhm.
so I'm hearing things that I don't want to hear. I'm hearing
Mhm.
things that, because of things in my history, that
Mhm.
are kind of hard for me to deal with and
Right.
to hear.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm trying to be very good at my mental self-care, but
Mhm.
sometimes it's also hard because
Mhm.
we kind of are also people that we see something or hear something and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I can't look away from the train wreck. I don't want to
Right.
see it, but I can't look away from it.
Mhm.
And I really want to watch the circus show, but I
Right.
really don't.
Well, luckily, our main character, he didn't have to deal with that because they're so societal excluded. You know,
Yes.
he only had to deal with the heavy set guy next to him who was really obnoxious. You know,
Right.
once
Oh,
in a
he was
while.
he was
He
horrible.
was so, you know, that's basically the only person he had to really have a confrontation with, and his own feelings about the situation that happened. But he had a plan, right? So he's working towards
Uh-huh.
that plan, you know, every day. At least he has that. But he can't
Right.
do what he normally does because he's trying not to spend any money whatsoever because he needs it all to get to that show. And then he gets there and he puts that piece of glass to his throat. Is that's where you left him, right? Is he still on the
Yes.
stage? All right.
Yeah, we've
He's
we've
still
just
on
gotten
the
through talking
stage.
about his rant.
And his rant goes on. And what happens is, right? He becomes an instant star.
He
because
does. The crowd
He
loves
gets
him.
They love him. He becomes the one that's different. He becomes the one that gets the star out of nowhere and the instant ticket out and
Yeah.
becomes part of the elite. Not the girl. Not the girl at all. And then you want to talk about his decision after that? Like what happens between him and the girl in the future? Because this is hard. I don't know if I don't know. I got
Well-
feels about that. But
Well, I mean, they really don't even. I mean, we know that he wants to be with Abby.
but he gets a decision to make. Like he could have
You
asked
thought
for
so?
anything. I thought he could have asked for anything at that time. You know.
I must have missed that part. I must have
I
still
think it
been
was
so
in a-
upset
I-
over his rant.
After his rant, I think once everybody loved it, okay, and he was going against the system. Well, here's what I think. They don't actually say. So this is all speculation. So if anybody has a different idea and you're familiar with the episode, please let's discuss it. Like put it out there. Because what I think is that he does that rant, and you know it's against everything that they're doing. He's looking right at those judges, and he's talking about them and this whole thing and what's happening and what they're doing to people. And he's actually there against the system, and everybody ate it up. So
Oh,
now
yeah.
he's got the power of opinion on his side. Now, people often think that the power of opinion is not very much unless it has a vehicle for it to go in. But don't forget, we got, like us, we have social media. We have the written press. We have this, we have television. We have, all of this. There is a way to get opinion out there to mean something to the masses, to get more support, to actually have it impact capitalism. Because how does opinion attack capitalism with wanting it to change? You stop buying it. If you don't like what the guy that represents Kellogg's said about the cereal, you don't buy it. And that's how your opinion and your weight of the matter will affect capitalism.
Exactly.
But here, they had all the people that have to pay their credits to watch this show, okay, to keep things going, liking what this guy was saying. And it was all negative about them. And so they had to make a decision. So they decided to shine him up. They're going to give him a show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And in
Like
giving
30
him a
minutes
show,
twice a week.
yeah, in giving him a show, they also have to gain back control. They have to get him back on the wheel. Because this dystopian society that we've run into doesn't work unless all the hamsters are on the wheel.
Exactly.
Unless everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And nobody has a choice. You just do it. You do it for the greater good, period. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
The whole thing about not knowing why it happened, not knowing where the pedal energy goes, not knowing why this show started or what the purpose of it is, all of that speaks to, you don't need to know. We just told you, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just
do it because we said so.
Because
Which was
it's
a huge,
for
the whole
better
episode.
society.
Yeah, it's a whole episode of that, And so it was my impression that he was even given the choice to not have to go back on the bike, to do a show, have his fame a little bit, once or twice a week, whatever he had to do, and then to be left alone to do whatever he wanted for the rest, not have to spend credits to watch stuff, not have to do anything. Or, he could go, of course, to the other show and be with her. I'm sure that was one of the options. But he had already lost all respect for her selling out. Because when it came down to it, he had to admit that she did. For fame, she chose that. Rather than come back to be with him on a bike. Because remember, he was on a bike.
And
why
honestly,
can't she be on a bike with him?
I think he would have been like, she would have been like, I'm sorry, I just basically flushed away your 15 million merits that you gave me. And I think he would have been like, Abby, it's okay. We're still here
as
together.
long as she didn't settle for
as long as
that
she didn't
type
sell
of fame.
herself out.
Sell herself out because he knew how she felt and he knew what how horrible that was, and then she did it anyway. So that was a big statement. So he didn't go there with her, and he chose to be alone and to have his own way, and is in a little penthouse. Right,
he has a little nicer cubicle now.
Yep. Go on. You can take it from there if you like.
Has a little nicer cubicle. He's actually doing his show from his cubicle. So he doesn't have to go to the Hot Shot Studios or anything. They've got him set up right there. And he still holds his shard of glass. He does a 30-minute rant twice a week, holding that shard of glass. And now they've also made the shard of glass an accessory that you can buy for your avatar, for your doppel.
That's right.
Which is just sick.
You can all use it like a cheering wand or whatever while you're in the audience. Sick. And that comes to what Aaron said is they turn him into a symbol for change rather than to make change themselves.
Exactly.
All right. They weren't looking for talent just to lure others, just a token to lure in others. Yep. But, absolutely.
That's part of a capitalist system. It really is. And, I think...
Yep. He says they keep it comfortable enough at the bottom to keep people from rioting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all they're doing, when you go up one level on that wheel, they're just enlarging your wheel just a little bit. You're still a cog in that wheel.
Because he's still contributing to the show. He's still getting everybody else to comply by contributing to that show. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what he has to do. And he's got like fresh orange juice now. There's a whole big
Yes.
thing about, the fresh orange juice, the beauty of the modern apartment.
Uh-huh.
And what did they give him? A view
A view.
of the
A view
world,
of the outside world.
which
But
isn't
is
what
it
we
really
think.
a view, or
Is it really? That's what I wondered.
simulation?
Because if they have to do all this power, that was a beautiful green landscape with
It
nothing.
was.
Nothing there to obscure the eye as far
No.
as industry or, anything of that
Nothing.
nature. You get no picture of what life was really like out there because you see nothing but rolling green and trees and, just sunshine and blue skies and peacefulness almost,
Uh-huh.
And he just stands there in awe, like that was the best thing ever, just to see
Right.
that.
And, the thing is, even though he's got this larger cubicle to live in and everything, he's still being used. He's still suffering an indignity. And I feel like this was almost an Aesop in the story, that the current state of what he was in and what he's still in is just almost soul destroying. And you can see it after he finishes that rant in that new cubicle, and he goes and puts up that shard of glass in the box, pours himself some fresh orange juice, and goes to look out on his landscape. You can see he's not happy. He's been destroyed. There's still that hopelessness. And that's probably the thing that really resonated with me the most, was that just that hopelessness. And I just kept
Exactly.
seeing it throughout the entire episode this morning. And it actually kind of made me feel a little hopeless too.
Yeah.
But I just kept seeing it through the whole thing. Like I said earlier, I don't think that this episode is so far removed from our present. In fact, I think it's actually closer to our present than it was when it first premiered back in 2011. We have a mass consumerist culture now, even more so than we did back then, because we've been through a pandemic. We're going through food shortages now in the stores. People are hoarding baby food. During the pandemic, we were hoarding toilet paper.
Yep.
And we also live in a reality entertainment society. We keep up with who's who in the entertainment industry. We're following IG influencers. We're following Twitter influencers. We're watching them on TV. They have their own TV shows. They have their own TikToks. They have their own YouTubes.
Right.
And they're being followed by the millions. This is all much easier. Even some of the questionable things that are on the internet are much easier to view now than they probably were back in 2011. And they're more prolific also.
They are, and they're harder to actually get anything done about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the capitalistic machine of the whole
Exactly.
thing.
And I know from before the pandemic, one of the places that I worked.
Right. Erin wants to remind us we're watching a damn bear online, so. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, the irony does not escape us.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But one of the places that I worked in a cubicle setting. And those are set up basically to limit your interaction with your coworkers. They don't want you talking to each other. And they want you to, they're hoping that you're going to be more productive. For me, it was a bigger distraction. I actually had trouble concentrating that way because I didn't have just someone I could look over and smile at. Sometimes that's all the interaction I need. It's just being able to see the person sitting next to me. And, you know, maybe saying, what are you having for lunch?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I mean, I don't need a lot, but I do need something like that. You know, then we're going home. We're tired. We're exhausted. A lot of what we're watching on TV or on the internet, to me, it's just background noise. A lot of the times we're not even really paying that much attention to it anymore. At least I don't think I am. I can't speak for everyone, but I don't think I am. And I think it's honestly gotten to the point to where a lot of us, we've just numbed ourselves to the inauthentic entertainment that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on, but we're numb to it. So we're not even really paying attention to it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man, or still is, he's still with us, named Tony McKenna. And he actually had an article that I read after it came out. It was back in 2019. And he felt like a lot of people were being kind of, I guess you could say, almost blinded
Mm-hmm.
by the needs for political action in favor of their numbing desire for entertainment. We'd rather have entertainment than go out there and try to make a change.
Yeah, that's not hard to believe. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, there's
And I
something
do
about
see
that
that.
rings really, really true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And, you know, I felt like this with the resistance of the oppression through being. He was so oppressed and he seemed so disillusioned with the capitalist system.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like in his rant, he was also,
Mm-hmm.
you know, going against that oppression and the capitalism and the consumerism. But he was also going against, like, the hierarchy in society. And he wanted less monopoly of that power.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
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 That was
Wow.
kind of my big take. And,
Mm.
you know,
We-
I think also we saw some enslavement. These people couldn't escape.
Mm-hmm.
They had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it seemed like it was something that everyone had to do at a certain age, because remember when he
Yes.
met her, they talked about their family and her sister and everything and like that, and she wanted to get back to her family and she couldn't wait until her time was done. Statements
Uh-huh.
like that. The term of whatever, the time. I forget how long it was, but it seemed to be more than a year or so.
I think
that
it
they
was
had to
too.
put-
I think it was
Yeah.
a few years.
I think it may have been 3, but I don't want to
Yeah.
say definitely because I don't remember exactly, and I didn't write it in my notes. I was too busy yelling about other things. But my notes are almost ineligible because of all
Oh,
of
my notes towards the
yeah.
end
Mm.
look like, oh, it's horrible. I would
Mhm.
not even recognize it as my handwriting if I did
Mhm.
not know that I had written it.
Yeah, but
Um,
this was a very good. As the first one he wrote, but didn't put out first. I mean, he did
Right.
the other ones. But I thought he did an exceptional job of laying the groundwork of what he intended to do with this series. If this was his first thought on it, his first project,
Yeah.
he really did complete the assignment of what he was trying to project, because he really, when you look at all the other episodes afterwards that he wrote, this ongoing theme of society, technology, big brother, capitalism, elitism, societal oppression, judgment, all of that, it stays in every single episode. You're
It
going to find
does.
some of it. Charlie Brooker has a lot to say about his comfort with the way things are going.
Oh,
He's
he
not
really
a predictor
does.
of the future, and he has said, to his great credit and my admiration, many times, I didn't predict the future. If you think I wasn't talking about the way things are right this very minute, you're blind.
Yeah.
Period. That's, I mean,
Exactly.
I'm paraphrasing. Those aren't his exact
But
words.
that's basically
But that's
what
what
he
he
said.
means in every interview. He goes, I'm not reading the future. This is what we're dealing with. You
This
just
is
look
what we are
around.
dealing with
I am
right now.
speaking on things I see right now, right now. And that paraphrases from year to year to year as he goes. When he
It
wrote
does.
this was going on in 2011 in some way, okay?
Uh-huh.
If you take the hamster wheel out, you take those exercise bikes out, and you just think about here in America, that in most parts of the country, you need 2 incomes in a 9 to 5 schedule, 24/7 working, to be able just to put a roof over your head, pay your bills with no big lifestyle around
Yeah.
it, just to get by.
Yeah.
So, those hamsters on a wheel thing, there's other ways to portray it. It would have been a little boring if he just showed us all going to work every day. But in a way, he did, didn't he?
He did.
He did. He
He
showed that them going, and they have to get up every morning and get on that bike. And then
Uh-huh.
when they're done, they eat a little something during their breaks, regimented, timed,
Yeah.
and then back to their rooms, just like our homes. Then the alarm
Exactly.
goes off again the next morning. You get up and back again you go. He did it.
He did.
So,
And it was that mundane routineness that
is not just-
also
yeah,
was just hopelessness.
right. And my comment was just based on the fact that I'm an American, and I can say that about 2 incomes. In some countries, it's not like that, but you still have the work grind day to day that you have to do
Oh,
to
yeah.
pay your share of taxes, your share to contribute to the greater good, to get, health care and things like that for everybody.
Yeah.
It might be a little easier, here in America. I think we're much more focused on more money and capitalism and the Joneses.
Uh-huh.
Everybody wants to look the best, be the best, have the best of everything. Just look at the success of Apple. Every time a phone comes out,
Right.
I'm telling you, your i10 works just as good as your i14.
Exactly.
Okay? But as soon as it comes out, people wait in line and pay triple what they paid the year before. They have
Oh, yeah.
to. I mean, it is.
It's
It is just
crazy.
how we work. And I'm not, and I don't mean to make fun of people who actually want that. If you can afford it, great. I'm really not trying to judge you. I'm just saying it does set a tone for it not to be acceptable to have less.
Yeah.
Or to be happy with less. It's almost like we are actually geared to believe that if we are happy with less, there's something wrong with us. That a
Right.
simple life, there's something wrong with a simple life.
And
And I say, no, no, no. There's not.
Yeah.
Those people
know,
are happy.
I've had this affect me personally lately, and you know this, Claire,
Mm-hmm.
because there is someone in my life that can afford the finer things, and I
Mhm.
can't. And I'm okay. I'm okay with where I live. I'm okay with my housing. I'm okay with my car. And they don't judge me. And that's what's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They don't judge me because I'm not in their financial status. They
Mhm.
don't at all. In fact, they told me the other day, "You're making me realize I like normal."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is like every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's my normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always
I-
your normal.
Yeah, and that
But-
resonates. I think that resonates with everybody in the chat, everybody who will be listening on YouTube now and in the future. I know that you feel this. I know whatever country you're from, whatever your day-to-day lifestyle is right now. I know you feel this. I know you felt what Brooker was trying to point out to us here. Because in the end, as technology-based as all his episodes are, as oppressive towards society and opinion that they are, what he means is our happiness is based on what we will find acceptable for ourselves and being allowed to live in it. That it's okay that we feel good about where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
We don't have to want the brass ring. And
No.
maybe it's just not for us. After
Yeah.
all, it's 1 in a million that gets it. What kind of idiots? 999,000 million go
Right.
for it when only one can have it. Why should we all be so freaking unhappy?
Exactly.
We don't need to be.
No.
You just accept the odds. Live your life and find what makes you happy and just do it.
Yeah.
We don't have to want the brass ring.
No, we
You know,
don't.
at least that's what I take away from it. And this is what I love about Brooker. He allows me to be me. Period. And I'm happy talking on YouTube. Who's gonna come at me for it? Like, you're gonna take my happiness away? I don't think so. I'm pretty comfortable about where I feel, why I do it, how I do it. How you gonna take that? You know,
Right.
and that's what we all need to do. Like with that, you know.
Yeah. So Claire, since we didn't have Easter eggs, I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Okay, and then we're gonna wrap up so we don't go too long and kill whatever fans we have to come back next week. Because
Do you feel that this episode is modeled more after Orwell or Huxley?
you know, I'm not going there because it's both. You know why, Kim?
It is.
I'll
It
fight
is
you on
both.
that. It is freaking both.
It
Every
is
single
both.
part of it. Every
Yes.
part of both of those. It is the making them believe everything they're going to believe under a false president, Orwell, all over the place. What I can tell you anything I want and you're going to believe it because I could do it like that. I get that. I
Exactly.
get that. Okay. And it's Huxley. Damn, is it Huxley? Of course it's Huxley.
I know.
Like how could
Right?
it not be Huxley? You know? And I'm even
Exactly.
I'm gonna throw my favorite in there, and we'll talk about this at next episode because I want you to think about that. And you people in chat too, and all of YouTube, go ahead and comment me. But tell me there isn't some Douglas Adams in there.
Oh my gosh.
Because and I'm a
Yes.
big fan of his too, and you know,
Yes.
wherever I can throw in Adams, I'm going to throw in Adams. So because
Yeah.
everything I just told you about before, thank you for the fish. Thank you for the fish. Everything, that big speech about being happy about less and this. Thank you for the fish. Don't forget where your towel is. Always have your towel. And
Right.
42.
Yes.
Freaking 42.
42.
It's all there. No,
It
all the
is.
classics. And please read 1984. Anybody who
Yes.
hasn't. Okay.
Brave New World.
And if we lost you with the literary author references, I'm sorry, not sorry. That's
Right.
your problem, not
Exactly.
mine. Go read. Like, I'm not going. I own my literary geek. Okay, I do.
I was reading
I
some
do.
of this stuff back in like, 5th and 6th grade, so.
Oh, you just made me so happy. How could you end like that? Like I'm tap dancing out of this episode like I don't know what. No, that is damn, Orwell, Huxley, Adams, and Brooker all
And
on the
Brooker.
same day.
I know.
Happy.
I knew
Right.
he would get you with that one.
Oh my
I knew I
God, girl.
would.
You did. Woman, I'm thrilled. And it is always a pleasure to stream with you. Thank you
Yes.
so much for those of you who joined me in the text. You know what, True? I'm so happy to see you here, that you're a fan. And Robski, I know you
Yes.
like the Black Mirror. And those of you that hung out to mod for me in the chat, thank you very much. I love
Thank
you
y'all.
all. Some of you that had come in late, I hope you do get to play the episode back. This one was a good one. 15 Million Merits is they don't look at it enough. It was just bare
Exactly.
bones enough that they think there's not a lot there. There's so much there. So,
There is.
you know, you get some time, go explore it. We'll be back next week, eh?
Yeah.
You're just here for the food. Did you get your kebab? I hope you did, True. I hope you got your kebab. What did you get? You know.
Yes, Charlie, Ayn Rand.
Oh no,
Another
it was
of my
a
favorites.
burger. Wait a minute. Wait, what do you get when you don't get a kebab or pizza? You get a burger. Well, hey, that's not
I
so
would take
bad.
a burger.
Yeah, I would take a burger too. Not bad. You know what, Aaron? I do like Ayn Rand, but I also have issues with it too. So I hear
I
you
do
there.
too.
I do. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna head over to Aaron's and Mod. Kim, have a
Yes.
wonderful afternoon. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Everybody, thank you so much. And I'm not sure if I'm doing Mayhem yet tonight. I'm waiting on a few more piano people, but like if I do, I will probably send out an announcement about an hour or so before. I hate to give you such short notice, but that's just how it is with Mayhem. I mean, after all, it's Mayhem.
It's Mayhem.
What do you expect? It's like chaos. It's
The
chaos.
name
But
says it all.
it's chaos spelt wrong. What
Right?
can I tell you? It's just
They just
like,
added
what can I
extra
tell
letters.
you? It just like added a whole bunch of other stuff in there, like
Yeah.
we always do. But I will tell you that tomorrow morning I am doing more depth coverage, legal like. We're going over the jury instructions and the closing arguments with Mandy first thing in the morning. It'll be around 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. That's like 10:30 CST. That's like 9 o'clock PST. And for all of you that are in Australia, it's like it's 10 o'clock at night, and for you in the UK, it's just after lunch. So it's not so bad as far as schedule if you're free and you want to get a little bit more appraised before the jury comes back. Mandy and I will be doing that on my channel, and Randy, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to pop in if you like, or anybody else who has an opinion on it, you're welcome. I welcome all opinions. So on that, I'm out. I'm gonna play my fantastic. I'm gonna go break some glass. Here we go.
Let's break some glass.
Let's break some glass. Thank you, Kim. Love you,
Thank
girl.
you, Claire.
Okay. Bye, YouTube.